Hey everyone, it's Evangeline right here at eTrailer. Today we are taking a look at the Yakima Roof Rack for raised rails on your 2022 Toyota 4Runner. We're going to take a look at how it fits, our different clearance measurements, and I'll also show you how to get it installed. You might be interested in a roof rack like this if you want to carry around your heavier things like a rooftop tent or a trailer platform, or maybe some heavy bikes and heavy kayaks. There is a factory roof rack for the 4Runner. We actually took that off because it sits so close to the top of the roof and it really limited the things that we could haul around. This is going to be super easy to install and give you a lot of strength to carry around those more heavy duty items. Now you can use different crossbar lengths. If you want the sleeker look, you can use what we have here, which are the size small or the 50-inch bars. Now, this is gonna give you more low profile, slightly more factory look, while still giving you those benefits. I personally prefer longer bars because that gives me more overhang, and then I can secure items further out on the crossbar. That's available as an option here at eTrailer if you are interested about it. You can see right here that we have about an inch, barely an inch of overhang from the end of the tower to the end of the crossbar. This will depend on where on your roof you do install your bars. For roof clearances, this is going to give you a lot more height compared to your factory bars. Your factory crossbars are usually stored right inside that rail, giving you barely an inch underneath. Compared to that, from the top of the roof to the bottom of our crossbars, I have about 3 3/4 inches of space. Plenty of clearance there for all types of clamps. Even our U-bolts with wing nuts have a higher chance of being able to be used. The next measurement is going to be the height added to the roof. So top of the roof to top of crossbar, about 4 3/4, maybe a little over than that. And that's going to be where your cargo sits. So still a very streamlined look with a little bit more clearance. These are the JetStream bars, which are more aerodynamic crossbar. And this is going to be taller up front and tapered towards the back just to help the wind be guided through. And that means you're going to have less wind drag and wind noise on the road. Now with that, while the bars themselves are very strong and very durable, your actual vehicle roof weight is important. On the raised rails of the 4Runner, it does say that the maximum load is 132 pounds total, evenly distributed. So with that in mind, if you are loading up your roof rack, try to make sure that it all sits distributed across the crossbar and not all directly in one spot. The tower design I do really like though. So we have this tower, some people call it a foot, and this fits over the rail and creates that base. This also has a strap. This is technically a metal strap with a rubber sleeve that fits around the rail. So this works together so you have support for weight going down, but you also have support all around your rail. I like this design compared to most types of clamps just because I feel like it offers a bit more security. Now for your tower, you also have multiple points where you tighten things down. There's going to be 3 bolts, 1 for the strap and 2 for your crossbars. That way you have a level field. Now the one thing I wish this had right off the bat was locks. So Yakima does this thing where they have different lock cores that you have to purchase separately. That we can keep everything keyed alike, but also means that this is going to be an extra purchase. This is available here at eTrailer in multiple packs of locks. To get your roof rack installed is super simple. There might be a little bit of extra setup in the beginning, but once you have it put together, it's so fast. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get your crossbar together, and then you take off the end cap. I already installed our rear crossbar, so we'll do this front one together. Our crossbar looks a little beat up because we've installed this on a bunch of different roof racks, but this is also a good time to point out that over time, it still works great and looks great. So these end caps come off, and then you're going to have this open space underneath the bar. You're then going to put together your tower so it looks like this. I'll show you what I did. First, I removed the door of the timberline tower. You pinch in the sides, and then you get access to 2 bolts. The next thing I did was that I loosened this bolt towards the bottom so that the strap could get loose enough where I could push it in and then get access underneath. So this is how you're going to attach your adapters on top. In the case of our JetStream bar, that's going to look like this. You fit this plastic piece in, and then you fit this metal plate in, and then you tighten down that bolt in the back just enough where it threads onto that metal plate, but not too tight. Keeping it loose allows you to slide the tower through. And what we're going to do is we're going to push this all the way to the end and repeat that process with the second tower, making sure they face opposite directions. And then go back underneath the tower and tighten down that middle bolt. The tool you're going to get with this system is going to be a torque tool. So once you get enough tension, this will click, telling you it's okay to stop, and it'll also prevent over tightening. Whenever you tighten down pretty much any bolt on this whole system, always follow that clicking method. I then put the end caps on, and sometimes I put the rubber strips underneath. Other times I wait for when I get it onto the roof so I know exactly where my spread is. So here on the roof, we're gonna gently set our towers and fit them in the general area of where you want them to go. You're going to want to go onto each side of the crossbar and measure the overhang. That will help you figure out if you have the same amount of length on each side. And also make sure that you measure from the crossbar to a point on the vehicle and make sure that's the same. Once that's done, you then save your spot by fitting the strap over the rail and then into the tab on the end. You then tighten the strap down by tightening this bolt on the bottom. Tighten those down until your tool clicks like that, and then transfer over to the top bolt, and that's going to secure your crossbar. Tighten that until that clicks as well. That's the overall method of installing your roof rack. From this point on, you have your just smaller, nicer touch points, which is if there's open spaces underneath the crossbar, go ahead and put your rubber seal there. If you have a metal lock core, you can switch out this plastic cap for that lock core. Otherwise, this will work perfectly well for securing your tower. You just put that end cap back in, it pops into place, and you're good to go. And that there was a look at our Yakima Roof Rack with the 50-inch long JetStream Crossbars, the timber-lined towers for raised rails, all here on our 2022 Toyota 4Runner.